Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy with me Kavita as a mentor and a training coordinator at ITLS Academy. Today we'll be discussing about the new topic that is the Codex Alimentarius Commission. Okay, let's begin our lecture. What is Codex Alimentarius Commission? That is CEC, sorry. It is, let me tell you, was created in 1963 by Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the World Health Organization WHO to develop the food standards, guidelines, and related texts such as the codes of practice under the joint FAO and WHO Food Standard Program. The main purpose of this program is to protect the health of the consumers and to ensure the fair practices in the food trade and also to promote the coordination of all the food standards work undertaken by the international governmental and non-governmental organization. It is a collection of standards and codes of practice, guidelines, and other recommendations. The general principles of food hygiene introduces the use of the hazard analysis and critical control point, that is the HACCP, being the prime food safety management system. So, several significant issues vital to fulfilling the objectives of the Codex Alimentarius Commission, namely to protecting the health of the consumers and to ensuring the food safety and promoting fair global trade practices, are under the discussion across several Codex committees that focus on the food safety objectives. Okay, let's talk about the standards in which the codex standard are usually related to the product characteristics and also may deal with all the government regulated characteristics appropriate to the commodity or only one characteristics, that is maximum residue limits for the residues of pesticides or veterinary drugs in foods are examples of the standards dealing with only one characteristics. The next is the uh, Codex General Standard. There are Codex General Standard for the food additives and contaminants and toxins in the food that contain both the general and the commodity specific provision. The Codex General standard for the labeling of prepackaged food cover all the foods in this category because standards relate to the product characteristics. They can applied whenever wherever the products are traded. Next is are the Codex codes of practice. It includes codes of hygienic practice and defines the production, the processing, the manufacturing, the transport and storage practice for individual foods or group of foods that are considered essential to ensure the safety and suitability of the food for consumption. For food hygiene, the basic text is the Codex General Principle of Food Hygiene, which introduces the use of hazard analysis and critical control point and food safety management system. The codex guideline is generally fall into two categories. First is the principle that is set out policy in certain keys and areas, and the next one is the guidelines for the interpretation of these principles or for the interpretation of the provisions of the codex general standard. Okay, next is our commodity standard. By far the largest number of specific standards in the Codex Alimentarius is the group called the commodity standards. The major commodity includes in the Codex are we apply the Codex Alimentarius Commission in cereals, pulses, and derived product including vegetable proteins, fats and oils and related product. Standards are also available for the fish and fishery product, fresh fruits and vegetables, processed and quick frozen fruits and vegetables, fruit juice, meat and meat products, soups and broths, milk and milk products, sugar, cocoa products, and chocolates and other miscellaneous products. So what happens, these commissions provide you some guidelines according to which you have to keep your materials, keep your food items up to date only, and you have to maintain all the qualities as per the rule given by the commission. Okay, the commission's operation, the legal ways, we can say the commission's operation and the procedures it is required to follow and publish the procedural manual of the Codex Alimentarius Commission. Like all other aspects of the commission's work, the procedure for preparing standard are well defined, open and transparent. In essence, they involve first the submission of proposal. The submission of proposal for mm, for a standard to be developed by a national government or a subsidiary committee of the commission. This is usually followed by a discussion paper that outlines what the proposed standard is expected to achieve, and then a project proposal that indicates the time frame for the work and its relative priority. The next is a decision by the commission or the executive committee that a standard be developed. So a decision by the commission is proposed. The criteria for the establishment of work priorities is exist to assist the commission or executive committee in their decision making, and also in selecting the subsidiary body to be responsible for steering the standard through its development. If necessary, a new subsidiary body, usually a specialized task force, may be also be created. The proposed draft is standard and circulated to member government. So the preparation of a proposed draft standard is arranged by the commission secretariat and circulated to member governments for comment. Then comments are considered by the subsidiary body that has been allocated responsibility for the development of the proposed draft standard, and this subsidiary body may present the text of the commission as a draft standard. So the draft may also be referred to as the Codex Committee's responsibility responsible for labeling hygiene, additives, and contaminants or methods of analysis for endorsement of any special advice in these area. So most standards take a number of years to develop. Once it is adopted by the commission, a codex standard is added to the Codex Alimentarius. Next is the what it is some another thing that revising and adapting, keeping the Codex Alimentarius up to date. So in this, the commission and its subsidiary bodies are committed to keeping the codex standard and related text up to date to ensure that they are consistent with the current scientific knowledge and with the needs of the member countries. The procedure for revision or consolidation follows that used for the initial preparation of the standards. Next is the Codex India. Codex India, the National Codex Contact Point (NCCP) for India, is located at the Directorate General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, that is the Government of India. It coordinates and promotes the Codex activities in India in association with the National Codex Committee and facilitates the India's input to the work of Codex through an established consultation process. Next is the National Codex Contact Point. In this, we have discussed about the NCCP. So, the National Codex Contact Point act as a license of office to coordinate with the other concerned government departments at the central and state level, food industry, consumers, traders, research and development, institution and academia. National Codex Committee and its shadow committee are to ensure that the government is backed with the appropriate balance of policy and technical advice upon which to base decisions relating to issues raised in the context of the Codex Alimentarius Commission and its subsidiary bodies. Next is the core function of NCCP India. The NCCP has to perform the following core functions established by the Codex Alimentarius Commission for National Codex Contact Point. So it has to be act as a link between the Codex Secretariat and India member body, coordinate all relevant Codex activities within the India, receive all Codex final text, that is the standard codes of practice, guidelines and other advisory text and working documents of Codex session, and ensure that these are circulated to all those concerned. Send comments on Codex document on proposal to the CAC or its subsidiary bodies and or the Codex Secretariat within the time frame. Work in close operation with the National Codex Committee and its shadow committee. Act as a channel for the exchange of information and coordination of activities with other Codex member. Receive invitation to Codex session and inform the relevant chairperson and the Codex Secretariat of the name of the participants representing India. Maintain a library of Codex final text, and lastly to promote Codex activities throughout the India. So these are the core functions of the NCCP India which have to be maintained by this body. Next is the National Codex Committee of India. The According to the Government of India resolution GSR 762 issued by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and National Codex Committee shall meet as when necessary to consider the various issues that may be discussed at the annual meetings of the Codex Alimentarius Commission and to prepare necessary materials thereof. The work of the committee includes the standards for all the principal foods, whether processed or semi-processed or raw, for the distribution to the consumer. It also includes provision in respect of food hygiene, food additives and pesticides, residues, contaminants, labeling and preservation, methods of analysis and sampling, and etc. So the main function of the NCC India is to cooperate with the joint FAO WHO food standard program and to nominate the legislates to attend the Codex meeting. It also have a function to formulate the national position in consultation with the members of the NCC in the matters of Codex, and also to study Codex document, collect and revise all relevant information relating to the technology or economic health control system, so as to give supporting and to the other to the supporting reasons to the uh, government for the acceptance of Codex standard or the Codex standards otherwise, and also to identify organization to take actions for generation of database or to preparation of base pre-projecting the country's interest for interacting with the Codex Alimentarius Commission, and to cooperate with other local regions or foreign organization dealing with the activity relating to food standardization. So here are the functions that is we maintained by the NCC of India. Next, we discuss about the shadow committee of NCC India. The NCC has been authorized to appoint a shadow committee, one subject matter corresponding to the Codex subcommittee, to assist the NCC in the study or consideration of technical matters. Officers in the rank of Joint Secretary in the concerned department ministry who handle the subject policy level and also serve the members of the NCC are nominated as the chairperson of these shadow committees, and specialized experts in the relevant field are nominated as a member of these shadow committee. So these uh, list of few experts are view of different uh, from time to time to ensure that they meet the ongoing requirement of the India. Currently, the shadow committees assist the National Codex Committee in the following areas, that is the Codex Commission, the Regional Coordinating Committee of Asia, general principles, food labeling, methods of analysis and sampling, pesticides, residue, food hygiene, food additives and contaminants, food export and import and certification system, especially dietary use, also helps in fish and fishery product, oils and fats, fresh fruit and vegetables, processed fruits and vegetables, milk and milk product, cocoa product and chocolates, mineral waters, genetically modified foods. So the main function of the shadow committee is to study the codex document, collect and revise all the relative information relating to the technology, economic, health and control system, so as to give supporting reason to the government in the acceptance of the codex standard or otherwise. To also functions to formulate the national position in the consultation with the members of the shadow committee with where sorry with respect to the legend for the for the coming meetings of the subsidiary body and transmit them same through the NCCP, to formalize the delegation for the meeting in consultation with the NCCP and transmit the names of the host secretariat through the NCCP, and also to recommend to the NCC regarding the position to be taken during the session of the commission with respect to agenda item and relevant to the terms of the reference of the shadow committees. I hope you have understood the Codex Alimentarius Commission, why it is applied and what is the function of the particular. So for more information, please log on to our website and register yourself for the same course. You also register yourself at www.itlsacademy.com and do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and yes, do not forget to subscribe our channel ITLS Academy at YouTube. Thank you.